welcome to Sabali Showdown. I'm DJ Cole, and I'm here with René, who will be commentating as a Reiju player. Um, how it looks to see the best Reiju player he knows. That happens to be himself.
Or
How are
flame
we doing, René?
myself. I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Um, So you are facing Usopp. That should be a relatively favorable matchup, and you lost the die roll, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I lost the die roll and he chose to go first,
Mhm,
which is very telling because if he chose to go second, then I would assume that he plays the Saka Usopp variant.
mhm. Well, you definitely want to do the Rebecca uh, Kira's play on 7 on the other version, right? So that's likely
For
what's
sure.
happening.
Then he opens
Gorilla.
with the stage.
I mean, you probably want to do the same thing, but we got a different play instead.
Yeah, I did
I
have
guess,
the stage in hand, but I like this more than playing the stage.
yeah, going second, just like building a beater and having 3 more cards in hand definitely helps, right?
Yeah, for sure. And you can't Zoro it yet, so that
Oh,
is
that means
great.
you get a free swing out of it. Yeah. Ah, no 2-2 case.
No. I was hoping to draw Chopper, actually, but that didn't happen.
Mhm. Would you have given them had you had the 2 case there? I guess 2 cards there you
No,
probably
I don't think
do.
so.
No? So you don't want to defend that aggressively early on?
If I had either of the Reiju or Baby Reiju in hand, then maybe, but I didn't. I don't think that's worth it.
Oh, I guess so. Like you will have other chances to give 2 cards if you need to recycle that Reiju again.
Yeah, the next swings are gonna be smaller. And I like taking some life against Usopp because he has like rush on your characters. So like going down a bit and not defending your life like you usually do means you end up being able to protect your board more, especially on like 7 down when he has a 9k swinger on your board.
Yeah, that does make sense. Um, you prioritize hitting an extra swing here over, yeah, playing around the Cavendish.
Yeah, for sure. I don't really care. I mean, if I don't
Yeah,
swing, then he doesn't lose a card and can't swing, but it's the same. But
no,
here
and
I got rewarded because it seemed like he bricked.
oh my. Yeah, no, that does make sense. And I suppose that when you're playing Cavendish, you're also not lowering hand size if you get the rush. So if you get to keep your swings, even if there's a blocker or you go into board, they are in a bit of a more complicated scenario, I guess. They don't get to easily draw a card. Uh, we get rid of Kudichi to find a Sanji. Have you found yourself abusing blocker Ichiji a bit too
Yeah,
much?
it's my it feels like my new favorite card. I love that card.
I mean, the main disadvantage of it is that it turns you into a Shanks leader, which I know you don't like that much. So
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
you'll
it's
survive.
it's not the same. I get plus power on my character instead of minusing my opponent's character. It's not the same.
That is true. That is true. You're not negging. You're just defending yourself.
And yeah, go for Cavendish, of course.
Yeah. It's okay when he gets one swing, but more than one, not as much.
Yeah, especially because like I had
Ooh.
the stage and stuff, so it was in Sanji, so it was likely that I'm gonna have the answer to Cavendish if it swings.
Mm-hmm. No, that does make sense. I'm wondering, like, I don't know how many cards Ben had in hand at this point, but it is. I would have been tempted to give you some 1Ks or 2Ks there just to keep digging.
Yeah, it's at this point I was pretty sure he's just Giga bricked.
Yeah, no, it does absolutely look like it. You happily give a Reiju, and you're sitting comfortably on the spot. But we are on 7 done, so I guess Rebecca Kier's time.
Yes, that's what happened.
One Cavendish. It's not terrible.
Yeah, and then being able to counter here is better than giving the 2 cards early on.
100%. Yeah, that does make a lot of sense. And now you basically have a lethal mapped. Probably don't need to.
Yeah, going for lethal now would be a bit risky. I mean, he's far away from King Kong Gun still, but
Yeah.
then if I ignore his board now, then next turn the board is gonna be huge.
And there's gonna be a lot of blockers too. Right, like you do need to fight for board a bit. He always helps fight for board.
Yeah.
I'm quite interested in seeing how you deal with it now because you have a really easy way to make Cavendish go, but it's not as simple to remove Kyros, is it?
Yeah, not gonna spoil it. My favorite way of doing stuff with Reiju.
Mm-hmm. Fair
The
enough.
best card in the deck.
Oh yeah, starts with G and knife. Uh,
Yeah, that Sanji's gonna do something this turn.
I love it. That's genuinely one of my favorite plays, and I think that might be why I didn't like trying out the loss as much, is just because my Sanjis didn't have that much value anymore.
Yeah, now Kairos is 7k.
Oh no. So you're gonna be that violent, aren't you?
And then Kairos is
Yep.
a 2k.
Mm-hmm. 2 into 2.
At first, I was tempted to reduce the Cavendish and knife the Kairos, making them both 4k.
Nice. A
But
4K each. Yeah.
uh,
And then just go 7 into 4, 7 into 4. But
yeah,
you don't get
it's a
Sanji
bit
value.
greedy. And then now I can just go 7/7 into leader, which is about a lot better. Force him to give me cards.
4 cards in hand. Yeah. You
I
just get
think
a
he should have
7 to 0 then.
taken the first one. Because then, I mean, it was 2 7k swings, regardless.
Yeah, you didn't have any ways to
Yeah.
buff the other one, right? And this
Yeah.
basically gave you a chance to even punish him if he doesn't have another 2K and go
Yeah, he
on
pitched
at
Leo and
Cavendish.
maybe drew like a worse 1k. See, now because now he plays Rebecca, but maybe he could have pitched the Rebecca for counter and then
Hmm.
had Leo in hand still.
That does make sense. I guess here he kind of has to take the Kiras.
Yeah, he took the Kiros.
It's not a great spot anyways, right? Because you don't get bounce value off of him. He's just like a big swing.
Yeah, I was a bit confused to be honest when he took it. I thought maybe he's gonna block up, cycle with Cavendish, and then take the 2k from the search. I only have 6 done, so if he has like any way of dealing with my board, then he
Yeah, but you
might
do have two
survive.
7Ks.
Yeah.
So it's not easy to remove both of them. And we are working with around 5 cards in hand, if I didn't count wrong before. Or 6, because he did take the second life.
Yeah.
A blocker would put them up to 7. Sorry, back up to 6 if it's a Rebecca that picks up a 2K and stays there. Up to 7. But I guess they would really want to deal with one of your two buddies anyways, so Rebecca's likely not the play here. Foliate on. Maybe had he picked up the 2K instead, a Rebecca um into the toy soldier, then minusing one of your ETGs and playing Sorrow. 2KO it might have got him to survival range.
Yeah, we had the deck. I obviously didn't have the deck list, but the casters had. He's
But we
not
do have
playing.
them now.
Yeah, he's not playing Focus Rebecca,
Mm-hmm.
which most lists don't do. The like regular Usopp lists don't play it usually, so I didn't expect him to play it.
That's fair enough.
He didn't. He did end up, yeah, just swinging at my HG.
Okay. We have 4 in hand. That's probably going to push him back to 6 after the block.
I think he has 5. I remember correctly.
Oh yeah, that's 5.
Yeah, and I had 4, I believe. And I'm picking one up with stage now.
You need to get rid of the judge. That's yeah, you're not gonna be doing a judge play from this situation.
Yeah, not the unhealthiest players in the early game. I didn't draw a chopper in any like in the game so far, so no judge this time. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
here I have to be careful because like he showed me that he runs King Kong Gun, and assuming based off the list that he runs, I assume he plays like at least 3 of them because
Mm-hmm.
that's what like most lists do. Then if I just go for lethal and it doesn't work, then I might be dead.
Yeah. And your best lethal point here, you have 6 stones, so you could go 2 7s, or you could go 1 11, which
Yeah,
it
now
is
he
not.
he, he blocks the 7, but Leo picks up two 2Ks and a Euro of leader. So he's at 7 cards now, and I know that he has two 2Ks.
Yep.
So going 11 is very risky.
Mm-hmm. And you do know he was pricked from before, but not that much. Have we
Yeah,
gotten rid of the Kiros quite yet?
he ended
Don't think
up
so, right?
no, he ended up picking up Kiros but not playing it,
You
and
got
then
a
he
one
pitched
brick.
stage. So yeah, we knew one break, but two 2Ks. It's risky to go all in here.
Mm-hmm. Well, that makes sense. So I guess. Ooh, that kind of Ichi play. Fair enough.
Yeah, I was pretty sure I'm gonna survive the turn now, and then for next turn, those are the same bodies basically. Still the 7K.
Mm-hmm. I
There's a
guess this
few
is what you were
things that I
referring to
will.
early with playing a bit defensive and careful. We were talking about it before the game, right? This is
Yeah,
probably one of
for
the
sure.
better examples of that.
Yeah, because if I go 7-7 here, or just I don't know 9-5, it doesn't really matter, or swing 11. It's risky. On 7 cards, I know two 2Ks. You only need 2K 1Ks to be one somewhere. I know we know one brick, but yeah,
No, but it's not quite enough, I guess. It's a lot of cards in hand. That Frankie was great value.
yeah. And here I think a lot because there's a few options that I had.
Do you remember what you had in hand at the time?
Yeah, I had a searcher and I had stage in hand. That's what I'm thinking about. So
Oh, I
then,
see.
if it was chopper, I probably would just swing 5 and play chopper without questioning it much. But the idea was swing 7 or swing 5, and I swing 5 at the Rebecca now because I was like, he maybe gives me one of the 2Ks. And if he doesn't, then I'm a lot, I'm like a lot, and I'm further away from dying. So now I
Yeah,
hope that this one's gonna pick up a 2K because I haven't seen many 2Ks and there wasn't really many 2Ks in trash already. So I thought
yeah,
that's gonna
same.
likely pick up a 2K, which spoiler now, it didn't.
Hmm. We have 10 targets now, right? Because we have the 4 Reijus, the 2 Nijis, and the Soras.
Yeah, I don't play Sora.
Oh, you don't play Sora anymore. Okay,
I
so
don't
then
play
it's
Sora.
6.
It's
Yeah,
6,
there's no
yeah,
space
but
for it.
there was like 2 in trash and there or 3 maybe.
Hmm.
And deck was very thin already. And yeah, then I play stage and pitch the gamma knife to get rid of more non-counter.
More bricks. Yeah, that makes sense. Just building survivability. And that HG is going to do some work as well because it's not easy to remove for them and still have plenty of done for King Kong Gun. So you are actually fairly safe from lethal.
Yeah, my hand is a lot of counter now as well. Picked up Reiju, picked up a 2K, so he knows 2K, 1K on my 4 cards.
Yeah. Huh. Sequencing wise, do you reckon it might have been a bit better to do the swing at 4 before you committed to playing Ichiji? I guess
Hmm.
with hindsight it's a bit easier to think about this, but
Which swing the
So you did swing with leader after playing your blocker HE, right? You swung 7 at life, that got the Frankie and get them up to 6. We do know about the 2k count. And then after you played your HE, drew your card that wasn't what you were looking for. I'm assuming like a chopper or maybe a Reiju with having good options there. Um, you swung 5 with leader and then play searcher on stage. Do
Yeah,
you reckon?
I think it's the correct order because I draw a random card of Ichiji and that card was the stage. So if I swung before or invested the Dawn before, like let's say I swing 7
Mhm.
and then play Ichiji, then I drew the dead stage and it would have been in my hand.
Yeah, well, that's fair enough. And I guess math-wise, if they were to give you a 2k for that Rebecca, if you keep the 6 tone up, um, you get to like it's still effectively an 11, right? Because you could go 2k and then with 6 tone you get to do baby Ichiji into big Ichiji and 2 tone, so
Yeah,
9. So it doesn't really help your count unless you have a porch, I guess. But if you have a porch, it also
yeah.
doesn't help your count.
The sequencing didn't really matter because he's forced to give me maximum of count anyways, otherwise he's dead. It's not like he
Yeah,
can suddenly start taking the life that he's not because he knows there's no follow-up thing or something. So the informations that I gave him didn't really matter at this point because he has no life.
yeah, that does make sense. Like I don't think. I guess it's just he's more forced to let the Rebecca go if you swing first. So that's kind of the only information difference, I suppose.
Yeah, that is true. But if I didn't draw a stage or something, then I would have went bigger at life.
Hmm. Yeah, that's fair enough.
And yeah, here I'm kind of forced to go for game. That's too much on the board. But I was thinking about maybe still not going for game. But yeah.
Do we have oh we're only running one of the bouncy Nikis now in the list, aren't we?
Yeah, there was only one in my list on this day.
And he wasn't on trust, I am assuming.
Oh yes. No, I don't think so. I think I drew him actually. I think I have him
Oh,
at this point. But
so you,
maybe not at this point.
I guess if you have it at this point, if you have
But
the baby, you might want to use that for lethaling, right? Because it does get you an extra swing in spite of
yeah, I think it
giving.
came up at some point, but I don't quite remember if it's this.
Am I having it one of the follow-up games?
Don't think I have it in hand yet, but I guess I mean I could use stage and search for it, but
I
yeah.
see.
Yeah, I start at 9 because like kinda can't block it. Then I go
Mm-hmm.
like 11,
7.
12.
Oh,
Yeah, my 6k swing was maybe a bit odd, to be honest.
and you did catch him with no 2Ks in hand.
Yeah, because I was still debating to go for game or not, but then I saw him pitch to 1Ks. Then
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
I
you
kind of felt like
definitely go 7-7.
I
It's
mean
not,
it's still risky, but
yeah, it's not my favorite kind of swing in here. Mm,
if he didn't give me a double 1Ks, I might have done something else, something a bit different with chopper and stuff. Maybe Reiju. Yeah, even think about if it's still maybe better to try to survive instead of going for game. But it was unlikely that I'm gonna survive through that board.
yeah.
I mean, I had 2k, 1k, 1k in hand. But yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, that's like for how well it started, it's definitely terrifying how much work those killers can put. All right, so we this time you did do, huh?
Okay, now, funny thing, like he lost game, he won the dice, and then got to decide game one. And now because he lost, he got to decide again. But he
Uh,
picked second now.
so you did get in his head a bit.
It was like, okay, first didn't work, let me go second.
Honestly,
Basically.
I don't think that first game was as one-sided as it could have been. Like obviously you did have chances at lethal all game long, but you were kind of dead on board if he happens to draw a 2K of that Frankie.
Yeah.
Hmm. We have some time later before the game. I might want to take a look at the lethal mapping on the turn and see whether
In
there
the
was
first
a.
game, I think the biggest issue from my side was not having chopper. So the plays that I did cost a lot of down. Then I was stuck at like 6 down for a lot of the game,
Mhm.
which I don't like.
Yeah, you also didn't see many baby Reijus, right? Like you were a bit short on cards in hand after the first one.
Yeah, I wasn't really happy with the way I drew, but I can't complain. Was okay.
HE heavy. HEG heavy.
Yeah, he doesn't need to take the first life. This time he has counter.
That's fair enough. We were always happy with that.
My favorite activity, drawing cards.
It's the best thing on every card game, isn't it? That's why, like, there's banned cards that draw cards in pretty much every single game, including One Piece, right? That's why Kabaji is banned. It's more about Nami than Kabaji, but you know, the most powerful thing you can do.
Yeah, now my deck told me like, okay, you've seen enough cards.
Mhm.
My deck was like, stop drawing.
Oh, are we gonna fist here? Yep, yep. You've had enough.
With no Porsche in deck and no Foxy 2Ks, it is rare. I
Kind
was
of
a bit
wild.
surprised. It ended up being, I think it was 2 Chopper and a Gamma Knife.
Hmm. Yeah, that is kind of bewildering. It does happen somewhat often with the Porsches there, though. I do feel like I have at least 3 pieces per tournament.
Yeah, with the Porsche lists and less Gamma cards for sure, but now missing shouldn't have, but I have like
Mhm.
12 cards in deck. Maybe not even 2. I played 3 Gamma Knife, so I have 11 cards that I can pick up.
That is very, very low.
Yeah.
So those would be the choppers, the gamma knives. What else are we running that's not German right now?
Yeah, Maria,
Oh, two.
Chopper, and Gamma Knife. Yeah. And I get my new favorite
Hmm.
opening.
Look at me, I'm Shanks now.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
gonna kill
Shanks
me.
now.
That, yeah, I wasn't too sure how powerful that extra 1K was gonna be. But like genuinely just seeing that deck in action just proves how stupid it is to get an extra 1K counter per turn for free. And
Yeah.
attached to a huge body of a blocker.
Not in this game though. He has a
Oh,
very strong start as well. 2 Zoros. He gets rid of my blocker. I was a bit sad at this point. Wanted to
that's
show off how strong that card is. Because I get a free 1K and the free block on one of his swings. So I'm like giga tanky.
Mhm. I mean, at least that negates one attack, I suppose. Although you wouldn't be. Oh no, no, it's not both heroes at the same time, so not even that. Huh. Were you a bit flooded of baby Ichijis at that point, or it was just the weakest card you had?
The
Oh, there we go.
When I countered with the
Yeah,
Niji. Yeah, I wasn't sure how useful the Niji is gonna be for a while. And then if I wanted to play for Judge, I needed one on Trash anyways. So I countered with it.
no, that's fair enough. Although I guess you can always remove him from hand when you play the judge.
Yeah, for sure. But I wanted to keep the other cards in my hand.
Right, we are reaching 7 on here.
Because I didn't want to pitch 2K on the 5K swing because he has 2 6K buddies that I'm not gonna remove. So I need my 2Ks.
Yeah. Yeah, you also don't want to be bouncing those sorrows ever either.
I
So
can't.
it makes
They are
sense.
5 cost.
Oh, true.
That's why he's if he I mean if not then I
You
may
can pop
bounce
the
him.
Leo, but that's
Yeah.
also not a very good idea.
No, giving him a
I mean,
card.
there's already one on trash, so
Yeah, I was debating whether I want to play the Reiju from my trash or because I had the new Reiju in hand. I was thinking
mm,
about playing that instead, but it's not that big of a difference in cards.
if had it been on trash, maybe,
Yeah,
but
if it
from
was on
hand,
trash, I would have because then I didn't have Judge at this point, but now I get to 6 down with Maria. So Reiju is 3 cards seen, and
mhm.
the other card is 6 because 5 on herself and then leader.
So you get to
So
find Judge a bit better.
yeah, but at this point I already bottom decked. I think both
One Judge,
2 Judge. I
both.
think 2. Yeah, I mean I was
Oh,
playing 3, but I was pretty sure I've already bottom decked 2.
so one could be live, and you're never gonna find him. Uh,
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to make the less like efficient play. Just trying to gamble, trying to find the third one. Otherwise, if I hadn't seen any Judge at this point, I probably would have still played the Rager from hand instead.
mhm. That might have like. Then I guess it might have been better to keep that as a counter on the swing before. But I guess you didn't have the Maria information, right? Because that way you get it from trash as well, and you don't get that much less.
Yeah. Yeah, then I counter with the 2K for sure instead of the.
Mhm. The 1K. There we go.
Yeah, but that's why I
Okay.
pitched the Niji because I needed 2-2 here at least.
Mhm.
But now I do now I have the same issue again. Do I want to pitch the Niji that I picked up last turn, or give a third 2K, or take the life? But taking is not what I
Very
want to be
risky.
doing. Yeah, not against King Kongan.
You don't need to be safely at 3.
So I just pitched an EG again. It's not that useful here. Especially early on, I don't want to bounce him like a Bato back to hand.
That
I'm a
makes
bit
sense.
lucky here that he only plays 2 Frankie and no Kairos.
Huh. Yeah, Kairos here would have been a lot of trouble.
Yeah, now Judge would be crazy, but I didn't have it.
Mhm. Yeah, we start looking for him with stage, don't we?
Yeah, we start looking for it.
Praying for it.
Yeah, it was unlikely.
Mhm.
I knew I was gonna find him this turn, but like not without investing down for it.
Yeah, but Judge here would have been very, very, very good.
My play is still fine, and especially because Maria survived.
Mm. Yeah, so you do get to minus down a lot and not get punished at all. So you will be on 10 next turn.
Yeah, that's always pretty strong with this deck, being at 10.
Mm-hmm. You've been able to judge plus get into done for swings that let you work around things quite easily.
Yeah, very strong into his deck. If I play an EGG with my judge and get to swing 6-6 with like a new existing character, and then
Mm-hmm.
maybe something else into his 4K, pretty strong.
Yeah. And then also, if somehow Maria doesn't bite the bullet by next turn either, you do get to judge for free.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, stage
Play Sanjin stage.
replacements.
Both of them picking up EGGs, so I'm stacked with EGG babies now.
Mm-hmm.
And
Those
I've
Frankies are annoying though. Isn't 2 cards in hand.
yeah, I had no cards in hand. That's the best part about it. Because
Mm-hmm.
Rebecca and Frankie and stuff, it's a lot of cards from hand. And he's been defending maybe even a bit too much.
Hmm.
And yeah, instead of Judge, I still get rid of some of his board.
You don't need to wipe at least one of those Soros.
Yeah, wiping two is a bit difficult. I could have tried to, but
I, I guess once the blocker's gone, you might as well just go into the others, Frankie, just because it's gonna be more manageable to do so. Yeah.
yeah, that is at 0, of course.
He dies a terrible death.
And yeah, if they could have swung like 6 at something, but uh, I know that I'm getting close to the 2 judges that I have on my bottom deck. So I wanted to play Sanji with the remaining Don.
I see.
To,
Guarantee that you find one. Ah,
yeah. I do go at Zoro because he has because giving him a card now doesn't really do anything. And here I could have went for 3k at his Sparto, which in hindsight maybe would have been better because
hmm,
I think I reached the judge anyways. I'm not.
yeah.
No, I don't
And
think so. I think
you
judge
have
was last card in top 5. So if I draw for turn and stage, I'm one. Yeah, one
one
short for
short.
judge. So okay, so it was. No, I
I
don't.
guess
Not sure
you're
if I
gonna be on.
remembered it at that point. I don't remember it now, but maybe I
Mhm,
remembered it during the game. I just knew that the judges were close because the next judge is. Now I have the one judge in hand, but the next judge is right behind it.
mhm.
That I
I
knew.
guess technically you were also on 10, right? So it might still have been a bit better just to start with the Sanji the next turn, and you have one less done. But you still will find the judge.
Yeah, that I didn't do because of a different reason. I don't
And
want
you
to
don't want to
spoil it
spoil
now.
me.
Yeah, I don't
You
want to
don't want to
spoil you.
gunman spoil me, are you?
Yeah, that I don't want to spoil you.
Hmm. You do like stabbing people with this deck, don't you? It's your favorite activity.
Yeah, Rage is just such a cool deck until they unbanned Sakazuki. I've grown too close to Rage to give it up.
Yeah, I know, but Sakazuki though.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I like both of them.
Usopp's also, well, I guess this version a bit less, but it's also a relatively bricky deck. Like, obviously, you get a lot of filtering of Cavendish, but there are a lot of I don't do much cards in there when you're playing defensive.
Yeah, he just went big at my HG, so his hand. I mean, yeah, I didn't give him new cards in hand, so
Mm-mm.
he didn't really have much cards to have good plays.
Yeah. He did recover a Barter rather than a Searcher, so that didn't help him scuff the hand that much.
Yeah, now I'm just bullying a bit. 10 down on Reiju feels like cheating.
It does.
I
It just
love it.
basically means you don't care about all the all the insanity you've been doing with your Dom minus doesn't really make a difference anymore.
Yeah, I mean, he started off very strong with 2 Zoros, but that meant he had no out for the Black Maria, which ended up snowballing a lot. And then,
Mhm.
yeah, now my favorite card, Gamma Knife.
Yeah,
And now I reduced the Cavendish, so now my board suddenly becomes very meaningful.
you really love this card.
Yeah, Gamma Knife is broken.
Definitely a really strong addition to the deck. It's almost sad when they don't counter the first one. It's like, I wanted
Yeah, I
another
thought
one.
maybe he was just gonna block Bato and block Frankie.
And
But
then
that wouldn't be too good. That
it
wouldn't be
wouldn't be too
smart.
wise. No, that would definitely mean that
And yeah, I
they
pitched
were
the
gonna
second
die.
judge. I pitched the second judge, yeah.
Do we have a full set? We do have the babies. I'm guessing you have one of the 2Ks. Oh, no more stabbing from the Zanjis.
And then even the Black Maria is still on board.
Yep.
I reduced 5 Don this turn. Go Don -5 and it didn't even matter.
You should have done -6 and then Maria just to be on 9. Just
Yeah.
activate Judge because you can.
Yeah, I had Niji in trash because that's the card I pitched at the in the first turn
Mhm.
or second. So I had the good Niji. So I thought about bouncing Bato before swinging, but then I was like, okay, I'm just giving him the 2k.
Yeah.
Now he gives me a 2k. Yeah. Now I bounce the
Mhm.
Bato.
Yeah. He
And
doesn't get to draw again.
in the
And 7
initial
on.
in the initial commentary, I got flamed by Rowan for not bouncing Frankie. But yeah, if there's no dices or something on the board, then sometimes you forget Usopp ability.
Yeah, it is kind of a bit tricky. Like whenever I'm playing into it with Lucci, I just at the start of my turn I set the dice with the actual cost of things, and that way I can do the math a lot more easy. If I need to wipe something, if I don't, I just don't. I
Yeah.
guess, and it is very easy to miscount.
Now he does Leo or Frankie. Leo or Frankie is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, still needs to pitch a card, pitch his IDEO, which he just searched, and then Maria even gets to clear the Leo. So that Maria has been doing a lot
A
of
lot of
work.
work. Okay,
Because that
back to
Leo is
Tendon we
very
go.
respectable now with Kingdom Gun in hand. So
Yeah,
getting rid of it is very strong.
yeah, it's not that difficult to like just 4 down commitment for a 9 double attack swing.
The left stage pitch Gamma Knife. I didn't think I would need it.
Mm-mm. No, with that board, I don't think you are on that kind of position.
There was one left in deck, so I was like, if something happens, I might still get it.
How has the list have been feeling so far on 11?
Yeah, the deck is broken still. Pretty sure.
Anything you might want to change, or you're absolutely
Yeah, the list
enjoying
that I
it?
played 10 2Ks, which is 2 Niji for Reiju
Reiju,
for Maria.
Mario. Yeah,
And then I added a third Gamma Knife because before I was playing 3 Niji and 11 2Ks.
that's a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah.
But the new EGG makes it feel like you don't really need that many 2Ks. So maybe even 9 and playing something like Cosette could be an option. Yeah. Now he picks up the Kairos again.
Mhm.
Now he has some room to work with too, because he still has 3 life. He just doesn't have many cards. But
Mhm.
Leo and Frankie made it so he recovered a bit in resources.
Yeah, the deck does come back on hand size fairly easily. It's super annoying.
Yeah, not as easy as Reiju though.
Reiju, yeah, you
Yeah,
don't
then
only need one Tukoska to to go back to 5 in hand, but still,
the Rush Leo getting rid of Maria. And yeah, that
getting
Maria
some
has done.
vengeance.
Yeah,
I
has
know.
done a lot enough.
Okay. You still need to respect that King Kong gun, don't you?
Yeah, I was thinking about taking it. But I didn't want to get pushed to 0 or something.
Mhm.
But now he King Kong guns on his Zoro and goes MHG, so
I believe
12k.
that. You're
And
not too concerned about that.
yeah, then Red Rock's the judge. So my
That's more
board is a
concerning.
bit empty, but so is his. But
Yeah,
now
but
I wished I didn't pitch my second judge. I pitched the second judge because I thought like he's maybe gonna get rid of one of the buddies, so I still have like three
two.
buddies plus my like three buddies plus my leader.
Yeah,
So instead of playing judge over my entire board, I just attached on and pressure. But he got rid of two of them, so now judge wouldn't even be bad. I mean, it would be win more because anything I do now is winning, but it would
mhm.
be funny to play two judges.
I think that would be sentencing the game pretty much immediately.
Yeah, I mean, it still
So,
looks very good for me. I have 10 done and two bodies on board. Willie has no board.
and you can play a Reiju that draws two cards naturally if you really want to.
Yeah, 6 and 2.
Or
4. He had 4 cards in hand instead of 5. If he had 5 in hand, I would have went 7 at life first, making him pick up a card.
mhm.
And then tried to kill his Sorrow. So he drew one less card.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
It's a funny way to play around the Usopp leader. Because he's not defending the
The
Zoro
board.
because he has 6 in hand. I mean, if he does, then that's fine with me too.
Mhm.
No, no.
Ooh,
I was thinking about doing 777 and playing something else, like playing Chopper and using Fordon to swing. But he was gonna take those at least like 2 swings regardless. The amount of cards in hand he had. Yeah, this is just much better.
yeah, you get to chopper and draw two cards, and you are very, very safe. Basically, because there's no effective target for King Kong Gun, right? I guess
Yeah,
Rebecca's fine, but if you wipe the chopper and then King Kong Gun the Rebecca, you barely have any done, and
yeah, and
you
you still
definitely cannot
need to
swing.
connect 2 swings because I have 3 life.
Mhm.
So very far away from lethal, but he has to make sure that he doesn't die. I bully him a
Yeah,
bit. I think it might be this turn. No, it's not this turn. It's a lot later into the game.
a lot later, if there are a lot more game. That does surprise me a bit. Like you definitely, as you said, right from this point on, pretty much every play you had was just widening the gap. But well, I suppose there's still a lot of wall up plays that can happen from this point, right? So
Yeah,
if
I
we
told you
go,
before that I definitely did underextend maybe instead of overextending.
Mhm. Yeah, you did not commit to lethal as much.
I wanted to have the safest win possible. Can't lose 2 league games in a row.
Mhm. Unless with your pet deck, like this is what you're known for. You need to give her some credit. Yeah. Huh.
I mean,
That's an interesting play. How many cards does he have in hand? Four? Five?
4 and the blocker.
Eee, almost.
And then because of the last gamma knife that I was talking about, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna make my life as easy as possible.
That is fair enough. That is a lot more scary aboard, though. You're running out of deck, by the way.
Yeah, yeah.
There's
Roland
like
said
12 cards
that
there.
that the win con Ben is decking me out.
Right now, the only thing he needs to do is fight for board and not die.
Yeah, I think it's less than 10 cards in deck at this point. But I'm not scared. A little bit, maybe.
Oh my god. You do never run out of it, and you don't even have Sora to recycle them anymore. Uh, that's a 2k Kairos.
Yeah. No Sanji to swing at it, but it's fine.
Still. Yeah, that is a lot of sevens. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now I'm safe.
Yeah, you are very safe at this point. Yeah, even with a King Kong gun, you probably want to make the Rebecca. Yeah, like a 12 at least. And you have been accruing 2k in hand. Okay,
Yeah.
the stream game is about to start, so we probably want to
Yeah,
get to the end of this.
that's the last turn.
Mhm.
Spoiler.
That makes
We
sense. We
like
are
our
getting.
7 costs. He has a bunch of
We
7
do.
costs. I
Everything's a 7 cost.
I like my 7 costs. And now it's the yeah, now I felt bad. I told him that I feel bad for this. He goes,
Okay. Oh, he's gonna King Kong and one of your sevens, isn't he? Oh, no? 1k. Oh, you're giving. I mean, yeah, that's basically his win condition at this point. I don't think you need those babies in hand. Oh, that baby is mean. Are you gonna give him 2k, 1k?
I counted all of the 5 swings with 5 cards in hand. The 4 swings.
He also definitely did not need to defend as hard, I don't believe.
No. You could have just let the
He
Reiju
just
go.
wanted to.
I was looking at my hand, thinking if I can defend 5 and the 9.
Yeah. There we go. 9.
Yeah, no, the game is just done.
Yeah, 13.
There's enough Vegapunks on my GG to finish the game.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff.